you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. You know, when I first arrived, I wanted to come down and shake everyone's hand, but we felt it was important to get this event moving on time. But I will be around after my remarks and after your questions, and I'd love to shake as many hands as you have the patience to wait for. And where is your dad? Wait, there he is. Okay, thank you, sir. I am delighted to be here in Cushing. Thank you for having me. And I also want to just thank your great Congressman, Steve King, because, you know, when he invited me out to the conference in January, that was an important opportunity for me. I'm not a professional politician. I'm not a celebrity. When I decided to get into the race, very few people had ever heard my name. And so that, way back in January, was an opportunity for me to come out, to connect with the people of Iowa for the first time. It certainly hasn't been the last, and I'm really grateful, Steve, for that opportunity. I also will tell you that as I continue to campaign for this nomination, I am keeping my eye out on conservatives in Washington, D.C. and throughout the country who have a track record of challenging the status quo, which is what we need to do to get our country turned around in Washington. And Steve King, your congressman, is one of those people. So I will count on his help. Thank you, Steve, for always having the courage of your convictions. I'm going to keep my remarks relatively brief because I'm sure you have a lot of questions and I'd like to answer them as many as possible. But let me tell you a little bit about myself first, not what's in the resume, and it was a very gracious introduction. When I was a little girl, I learned really important things from my mother and my dad. My mother taught me one Sunday morning. She was my Sunday school teacher that year, and she looked at me and said on that Sunday morning, "What you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God." I didn't feel particularly gifted as a young girl or a young woman, and my mother's words were a promise to me that I had gifts somewhere, and they were a challenge as well, that I needed to find and use those God-given gifts. I would learn conservatism at my father's knee, literally. I would watch my father watch the news every night. I adored my dad, so I would sit at his knee. And I would watch him yell at Walter Cronkite. He would explain to me why. And then in the morning, I would watch him read the New York Times, and he would yell at the New York Times. I can remember saying, "Daddy, why do you watch this and read this? It upsets you so much." Well, you know, but he explained it to me. And as I went on in life, I learned that conservative principles and values just work better. From both my parents, I learned that integrity is our most precious asset, and that values are what guide your behavior when no one is looking and you don't think anyone is ever going to find out.